Monica Joan?
I ventured through a door and uncovered something that disturbed me.
What, sister?
It disturbs you too. I surmise its purpose is a dark one.
It's a urinal. You must try not to let it upset you. The building used to be a training school for parish workers, but Fred's going to strip all that out so that we can use it as a storeroom.
I think it is the source of the vapours I detected.
Enter.
The patient files are completely reorganised. It's time for the finishing touches. There was no sun in your old surgery. Any plant would have withered and died.
You know, there is a permanent position for you if you'd like it. A receptionist and all-round saviour of my sanity.
Timmy needs me at home, and so do you. I love helping out, but it's part-time and temporary. What on earth is that supposed to say?
Erythromycin suspension.
I'm going to set you handwriting exercises.
Whoops! Timber! Oh, you'll get the hang of it. What's she doing? I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, I'm glad to see you expanding your skills, for I require bookshelves. They need to be erected in my room.
Where did you get that wood?
They're revising their display arrangements at the pet shop.
Sister, you might have injured yourself.
My books have been in boxes for far too long. If they are not set straight, their contents will jumble and become deranged.
Why don't you take the whole plate? Keep your strength up.
Sister, I wondered if I might talk to you about Sister Monica Joan.
If she approaches you with cake in your first week, pick up your skirts and run. It's all a ruse designed to embarrass the unwary.
It's nothing to do with cake, sister.
She may be my sister in Christ, but I swear she would drive a Methodist to drink.
I am placing the biography of Astley Cooper, Master Surgeon, next to the memoirs of Rousseau, since I deem it likely they conversed in life. The Dewey Decimal System is altogether too earthbound, and likely to speak loudest to pedantic minds.
You have been cutting pages out of Bibles.
I have excised certain chapters of the Apocrypha. The act cannot be heretical. The Apocrypha is heretical itself.
I'm worried we'll be late. The mother whose baby I'm bathing is going to meet me there at 10:02.
Sister Monica Joan won't come out of her room.
She can probably smell all that lacquer on your hair. Watch yourself when you light the spirit lamp.
I feel sorry for Princess Margaret. Imagine having to look enthralled by someone boiling urine.
Band ready? Stop, girls, stop, girls. Compare this to our experience of childbirth. A time of pain and fear when a mother's instinct is dwarfed by a well-meaning but patriarchal medical profession, over-reliant on mechanics and pain-relieving drugs.
Will someone tell that man to pipe down? It's impossible to concentrate. Who is he?
He's Dr. Latham. He's carrying on the work of Grantley Dick Reed, trying to make birth less frightening.
Tally-ho! Catch him before he goes to ground.
Tension directly affects delivery. causing pain and trauma to both mother and child, and, dare I say it, their future bond.
Let us leave the knitting for the duration of the lecture.
Women's suffering is not confined to birth alone. I hope you have a solution for that as well.
There will be time for questions at the end.
I should much prefer a lemon puff.
I mustered as many as I could from the charity box at Nonatus.
I've got Dr. Latham's accoutrement.
Very grand.
What are you doing with all this stuff anyway?
The art of relaxation.
It's not for the unwary chap, Fred. Well, come to think of it, chaps at all.
Ignore her. Thank you.
Oh, how charming. We could start having knitting at Mothercraft. One can never have enough knitting. On second thoughts, perhaps one can. I don't think this little chap's quite ready for the world.
When you've finished huffing and puffing, we expect every pillow and blanket returned in the condition it left Nonatus. And if you're suggesting that a few deep breaths and not thinking about what's for dinner is all there is to labour, you are leading your patients up the fairy way.
At least I don't pretend to be a natural blonde.
No pretense, I can assure you. My mother said I was born with a halo.
Doris must be confused. She was sure she dyed your hair.
Outrageous.
Not so fast, mister. I could be your secret weapon.
I think the secret's out.
Do you want to swap partners? It's so late.
No, I wouldn't be so fickle anyway. I'm gonna stay at me.
A free spirit, a suffragette, a noble heroine.
That's all well and good, but it doesn't mean Miss Scarlet is innocent of murder.
Murder? In Nonatus house?
An enthralling board game in which we are required to play detective.
Cluedo.
Shh. J'accuse. Colonel Mustard. For one should never trust a yellow-bellied colonial imperialist. In the billiard room. Billiards is such a foolish pastime. With a revolver, the weapon of cowards.
It's about collecting clues, not divine inspiration.
Well, am I correct?
Oh.
Yes! Do you wish to join us, sister? I must confess I find this game singularly invigorating.
Would be more so if you followed the rules.
Perhaps another time. I have some correspondence to take care of.
I only agreed to join you in this nonsense on condition you help me with the rest of the donations, so I suggest we go and do that instead.
I see.
What?
You do not take defeat very well. So it's best we abandon all hope of a rematch. I am indubitably the superior player. And I would not wish to vanquish you a second time.
Well, if you pardon me, I'll leave the experts to it.
I don't want to go to choir practice. It'll all be old women. No, it won't. It's a choral society. All sorts of people join. I like piano and violin. I don't like singing. Good evening, PC Noakes.
Evening, Mrs. Turner. How are you, Timothy?
Rather hoping I might get arrested so I don't have to go to choir practice.
We're joining the Poplar Choral Society tonight. Timothy's vexed because he's missing the Lone Ranger.
Me too. Mind you, I've always fancied singing in a choir.
You could go instead of me.
Well, I'll be quite tempted, but I'm on duty. You enjoy yourselves.
We'll be sure to do just that. Oh, I'm frightfully sorry, but I don't think I can eat a morsel of lunch until we've found out which one of us has walked in dog dirt.
How'd you know it isn't you? It was you last time with your winkle picker shoes. The mat in the parlour still hasn't recovered.
Innocent.
Sister Winifred? Nurse Miller? Mrs. Turner?
And it was not I. My olfactory powers are exceptional. I should have been immediately aware of the offence and seen it remedied.
For 2 pins, I'd have every mutt in Poplar put down. Stand back, there's all kinds spraying everywhere.
Leave them to dry and come back and eat your lunch.
In my stocking feet? I don't think so.
Is this your only pair of shoes? Dog dirt's the least of your worries. The upper's completely come away from the sole.
You may recollect that some of us have taken a vow of poverty. I've had these 10 years. Get another couple out of them.
I'm sending them to the menders. I'm sure you'll find something to tide you over in the second-hand clothes box.
If I don't get a cup of coffee within 60 seconds, I might commit murder.
The only way you're going to get that is if I pour it down your throat through a funnel while you're working. I want that autoclave turned round pronto.
Unless you can levitate, I suggest you all march in on tiptoes. I've done the whole thing twice because I thought I caught a little whiff of dog mess.
You the new girl?
I'm Patience Mount, but people call me Patsy.
Move your mop and bucket. Nurse Miller and Nurse Franklin need to get to the autoclave.
Well, it's all been turned round. 2 batches of instruments all bagged up and ready to go. And I replenished the dressing cupboard too, from the store.
Really? Goodness, I think I might just have fallen a little bit in love with you.
Red hats are only correct out of doors.
I wanted to make sure it stayed on during vigorous activity. There's nothing more unsettling than an unkempt nurse.
I think it's time to put the kettle on.
Stay where you are, sister!
Help! Help! Custer's cavalry! It's on its way!
There has been an intruder.
What do you mean?
The glass in the back door is broken. Our ramparts are breached, and the felon fled with the lemon meringue pie.
You are like a moth to a flame with meringue. You needn't think we've forgotten the Queen of Puddings.
Ladies, please. I'm sure there is no need to stage a burglary just because food has gone missing.
She forgets. I have eschewed all citrus since the dentist stopped my teeth with mercury. The alchemical reaction is too grievous to bear.
Sisters, I will make sure Fred repairs the door and ask Mrs. B to make another pie.
I don't know what she's going to make it in, because whoever it was has waltzed off with the dish into the bargain.
Excuse me, ladies.
Who sent for you? Wasn't a crown jewels, it was a lemon meringue.
We were nibbling maraschino cherries and drinking gin cocktails on the deck of his yacht.
Gosh, I'm sorry, did I sleep through breakfast?
There's something kept warm for you, but you need to be quick about it. And then he said, Trixie, darling, let me take you to Monaco.
Who did?
Rock Hudson.
In a dream she had.
But then I said, Rock, that sounds lovely, but I'm afraid I have to be up early to prep and pack for my home visits. Can you imagine?
I blame Christmas and the long winter nights. Number of young women due to give birth 9 months later. There's 30 in the next 2 weeks alone.
And my district patient numbers are spiralling wildly.
I don't know how we're going to get through the next month. Unless we start home visits an hour earlier.
No, he really wouldn't want me to do that.
Who wouldn't?
Rock Hudson.
Nurse Trixie, Colin Monk's eaten all of his packed lunch and 2 spiders for a vet, and now he's been sick all over the floor. We won't miss the start of play, though, will we, Reverend?
I managed to mop up most of it, although the smell's lingering somewhat. How's the patient?
Now, who could have taken things from a charity box?
Who indeed?
Sister Monica Joan,
You didn't by any chance...
Sister, these things were left as donations.
Yes, isn't that kind? But I mustn't keep them all to myself. Mars is very tasty. Please, help yourself to Saturn or Jupiter.
Mater. Oh, Camilla. I see that grace does not grow exponentially with age.
Patrick, I feel like I'm pestering you, but I do need the details of your referee.
Terrible game. We lost 2-0. I wouldn't recommend him.
I'm sure the Church of England Children's Society will be thrilled how seriously you're taking the adoption process.
Sorry, Dr. T. I think we've got a question.
Where do I go to get the milk of magnesia?
What's the matter? Aren't you well?
My cousin telephoned earlier. She's expecting and she's in agony with heartburn. The midwife said she could be given an antacid, so I came to fetch it. I just walked in with everybody else.
Follow me. I will not be defeated by this. The choir have worked too hard. If I find the right song, they can sing it simply. I won't need to rehearse them too hard. Puff, please.
You can always have one of your own.
No, because that would make me a smoker.
You the father?
He's the cousin.
Out.
Mrs. Turner shows great faith in us. I can't even get them in a straight line. Oi, stop that!
This is a community choir, not a conga line at the Hammersmith Palais. And if you don't keep up, my next weapon will be the heel of my stiletto.
Sure.
Go on.
It is the sheep, and it is shattered. When will Herr Hitler cease his sport with us?
Ah, there you are.
Sister Monica Joan has arranged figurines in what she calls conversational groupings. What, in the name of goodness, is the angel Gabriel going to say to the ass?
Dr. Turner telephoned from Astor Lodge. He says until the matron is officially replaced, we must have a qualified midwife in place round the clock.
Oh, he does he?
I'm sending Nurse Mount, and Nurse Noakes has agreed to commute there by bus each day until we get proper care organised for the mothers and the babies.
At least I'm in better shape than this poor wretch. Got more scars than Frankenstein's monster.